Hey guys, I just wanted to take a moment to introduce myself and how I got into DJing and other content you're about to see on my page. My name is Jelika, like Angelica without the N, and I live in LA, but I was born and raised in Queens, New York. So music and performing has always been a very big part of my life, and when I was a little girl growing up in the late 90s and early 2000s, I actually taught myself how to sing and dance by watching Beyonce, Destiny's Child, and Sierra music videos, and I would literally spend hours rehearsing the choreography and the lyrics and putting on performances for my family. I also have a mom who's from the Philippines, where singing and dancing is a very big part of the culture. So when my mom discovered that I could sing at like 5 years old, she'd make me sing karaoke for guests from artists like Whitney Houston and Celine Dion, as if I could understand or relate to the lyrics at that age. She also made me take piano lessons for a decade, and she enrolled me in dance lessons where I'd perform as the lead in recitals. I also have an older brother who was born in the 80s in New York, and he raised me listening to throwback rap, R&B, reggaeton, and dancehall music. I also really loved fashion and beauty as a kid, and I would religiously read magazines like 17 Magazine and Teen Vogue, and I wanted to do everything. I wanted to be a backup dancer or singer for Beyonce, a fashion designer, or a beauty or fashion magazine editor. But as somebody who's first-generation American born to an immigrant mom who came here with nothing, I was always taught that music, beauty, and fashion are just hobbies and interests and not something that you pursue as a career path. So I ended up playing it safe, and I studied finance and marketing in college, which led me to interning and working at one of those big Wall Street banks for about 6 years. When I was working in finance, my friends actually took me to my first rave, which was a trap rave in a Brooklyn warehouse. I also knew from that moment that I wanted to be a DJ, kind of like how John Summit left Big Four accounting to become one, but this was years before he became famous. I also knew that I wanted to combine the throwback music that I grew up listening to with the house music that I got into as an adult. Fast forward to 2020, when everybody's getting laid off left and right on Wall Street because of the pandemic, I ended up quitting my job in finance and moving across the country from New York to LA to pursue a career in the beauty or fashion industry. I ended up working as a professional social media and influencer marketing manager for beauty brands the past few years. I always knew that I wanted to be my own brand, whether that meant becoming a DJ, performer, or even making content about throwback music, beauty, and fashion that I grew up with. My remixes in the 90s and Y2K music, beauty, and fashion content you're about to see is really me paying homage to my childhood and my life story as a kid growing up in New York during that time, and also as an adult who has been raving and listening to house music for almost a decade at this point. My remixes and original music are heavily inspired by the artists that I grew up listening to and are literally the soundtrack of my life. And I really hope you all enjoy it as much as I do.